viewers to this explainer. You know, during India's 80th Independence Day address over at the Red Fort, Prime Minister Narendra Modi didn't just deliver your standard speech. Instead, he unveiled a seriously structured blueprint for a global economic positioning called Shakti Saptdhara. So, whether you track global supply chains or you're just fascinated by tech development, this 7-point agenda is absolutely crucial. It's literally the roadmap for how one of the world's largest economies is aggressively structuring its future. So, let's unpack it stream by stream.
Okay, let's dive into this. To map out our thematic journey today, we'll be covering, first, the vision for Viksit Bharat. Second, the economic engines. Third, tech and defense security. Fourth, sustainability and soft power. And finally, number 5, the global impact.
Starting with Section 1, Vision for Viksit Bharat, which is really the foundation of a developed India.
So, what's the ultimate destination here? Well, it's Viksit Bharat, which essentially translates to a fully developed nation. Now, keep in mind, every single reform, every policy shift, and all the infrastructure investments we're about to decode, they are strictly reverse-engineered from this one overarching target. Right, so how do they actually get there? The strategy relies heavily on a Shakti Saptdhara, which literally means the 7 streams of power. The Prime Minister positioned this specific 7-point agenda as the absolute bedrock for the nation's next generation of reforms. It's an acknowledgement that, hey, hitting true superpower status, that requires multiple simultaneous engines of growth firing all at once.
Here's a quick overview of those 7 streams of power. We have manufacturing, agriculture and food processing, technology and innovation, Gadi Shakti, Raksha Shakti, the green and blue economy, and soft power. Now, to truly understand how they all interact and compound on each other, we're going to group them into logical, interconnected pillars of growth as we move forward.
Moving right into Section 2, the economic engines. This is where we look at manufacturing, agriculture, and connectivity.
Let's decode our first specific stream here, Gadi Shakti. This is all about mobility. The policy aggressively targets high-speed transport infrastructure. And honestly, it's not just about, paving new roads. It's about fundamentally slashing logistics costs so that people and goods can move with the friction-free efficiency that a booming economy absolutely demands.
Of course, once you have that logistical infrastructure built up, you need the actual output, right? For the manufacturing stream, the directive is crystal clear. Indian products must become competitive on cost, quality, and scale, and they have to meet global standards. The ambition here isn't just about domestic substitution anymore. Actually, scratch that, it's way bigger. It's about aggressive global export dominance.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact pipeline for the agriculture and food processing sector. It's a highly intentional, step-by-step process. Step 1, boost that base agricultural production. Step 2, aggressively take those products into global markets. But Step 3 is the real game changer, turning those exports into internationally recognized brands. We're talking about making the massive leap from just being a bulk supplier to becoming a global brand powerhouse.
All right, on to Section 3, Tech and Defense Security. Basically future-proofing the nation.
A hugely vital part of that future-proofing is what's called Raksha Shakti, or defense security. But the operative word you need to remember here is self-reliance. This agenda signals a really hard pivot away from relying on imports. Instead, it directs major focus toward the domestic, completely indigenous development of next-generation defense capabilities.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the dual approach we're seeing. On one side, under technology and innovation, there's this massive push into digital, communication, and emerging tech to really drive innovation. But right parallel to that, we have the hard tech, physical applications under Raksha Shakti, things like drones, supersonic technologies, and next-gen defense hardware. It's basically treating digital infrastructure and physical defense as parallel, totally non-negotiable streams of national power.
Up next, Section 4, Sustainability and Soft Power, Balancing Influence with Resources.
The 6th stream is the green and blue economy. What we're looking at here is the explicit linking of vast natural resources directly to a sustainable economy. By framing green policies not as, annoying regulatory hurdles, but as massive new avenues for economic expansion, the agenda positions India to capitalize heavily on the global energy transition. It's a total win-win.
Then we hit the 7th and final stream, which is soft power. Because let's face it, a true global footprint requires cultural projection. The Prime Minister specifically highlighted some really unique strengths here: yoga, Ayurveda, and holistic health, moving right alongside robust creative industries and tourism. It's all about effectively monetizing and exporting that cultural capital to enhance India's global influence. Finally, Section 5, the global impact, which brings all these thematic pillars together.
So the crucial point is this power of 7 concept. Think about it. Individually, things like high-speed connectivity, global agricultural branding, or drone manufacturing, they're all significant on their own. But locked together, they form an incredibly cohesive, multi-layered foundation. This agenda isn't just some optimistic wish list, it's the actual structural framework designed to aggressively accelerate India's journey to Viksit Bharat.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought. With these 7 streams in motion, if manufacturing scales globally, if connectivity becomes seamless, and if next-gen defense and soft power are truly optimized, how quickly will global markets have to adjust to the reality of a fully realized Viksit Bharat? It's a massive undertaking, and its execution will absolutely shift the global balance. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and as always, stay curious.